So what's your take?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, the rate cut decision is this week. And boy, oh boy, is it a big one. So make sure that you're prepared. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Happy Sunday. Lovely weekend we've had. But now, as it is with every single week, it's time to lock back in. Hey. Today, for the first time I think ever on my stream, I'm not wearing a black shirt. So I figured I'd get it out the way right out the gate. Why does my hat look? I'm wearing a dark blue shirt. Some might call it navy. Tom Salkscoat said intro song never ends. Tishu said yo. So I get most coins are going down, including Crow, exactly as predicted. LOL. All right. I like it. I'll take it. Guys, Bitcoin's 115,564 even. Looking good. Bitcoin dominance 57.77 broke back above 57.68, which does not bode well for alts. We got a little bounce around 57.3, which is some random number. Rejected. Grabbed some liquidity, got back above. It's currently making sure that it holds 57.68 as support. And so far, it's working. Bitcoin. We got to refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Weekend liquidity. Honestly, usually they button this up and let us do whatever we want at the end of by like early afternoon on Sunday. They did not do that this time. Or maybe they did and we just haven't taken advantage of it yet. We got 116,431. 116,431. Okay. And then we got, I'll go right here, 117,159. And then down below, 114,895, and below that 114,086. Okay, so yeah, we're still in our little range, our little playground, which is kind of funny, but we'll see what happens. I believe the Fed rate cut decision is on Wednesday. Let me double check. It's on the 17th. Yes, 17th is Wednesday. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. It's going to be pretty spicy. Pretty spicy. ETH is down 1.09% on the day. Kind of flagging out, I would call it. Again, we broke above our horizontal resistance of 44.88, but we did not retest that. So this could very easily, I don't know why I keep doing, there we go. We could very easily come back down and retest that and hold it as support and continue to the upside. Our RSI is officially resetting along with the momentum wave. That's kind of what we want to see. This still almost accidentally perfectly lines up maybe with my 17th breakout, which had nothing to do with the Fed rate cut when I put it on there. The Fed rate cut, I guess, just happens to fall on this date, and I feel like I feel like it's a bad date now because of a Fed rate cut, but it is what it is. Teach, you said my gut tells me Sol outperforming ETH is done, at least in the short term, few days or few weeks max. Just a guess based on the following charts: Sol USD, Sol BTC, Sol BTC. Sol BTC is on there twice. Or maybe Sol USD, Sol BTC is a combo, and then Sol BTC is by itself. I don't know. That's confusing. But anyways, for ETH, I would look for support at our 44.88, 44.90 level if we don't get a bounce soon. Okay, he said Sol ETH, and then he said sorry. Better apologize. Solana is down 0.42% on the day. Actually down less than ETH, which is interesting. That's that outperformance that Tishu's talking about. We got a break above 225, rejected at 245. Got a little support bounce around 236, 237, 238, and use that to attempt to break above 245. Couldn't quite make it though. It is a higher high, but we are making our way downtown now. We do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher right here. That candle. So number go down. Definitely in play. Maybe a pullback to 225. It's a similar situation to ETH. We broke out of that and never retested, so it might be time. Otherwise, look for a midpoint bounce around 236, which we've gotten already right here, but we'll see. Total 3 is down 1.61%. We almost, it was so close. It was this close. Almost got to 1.16. Couldn't quite make it. We were probably at 1.155. And we have officially broken back below 113. Which is, it's not bad. We do got to cool off. And we're cooled off pretty well so far already. Just taking this into consideration, the fact that we're only down 2.4%. And we're already halfway as far as the RSI is concerned. Tyler said, JJ, can we do a toll? We're just looking at what chat wants to. This LOL, this takes so long. I mean, it is what it is, man. I feel like that's kind of rude. You come here and watch my shit. You guys, I guess we could vote for what to have in the watch list. So in order to do that, I would need more than 4 options. So we probably have to do that in Discord. But there's nobody in the Discord, so. But yeah, I'll happily charge you a toll, Tyler. Oh, man. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, let's see if, I don't know, man. 1.1 maybe will hold, hopefully. That is a midpoint. Otherwise, we're going to come all the way back down to 1.07, which we technically did retrace and held as support back here, but I don't know if that was enough. I could see the 1.1 holding. Let's see what 1.1 does. Unfortunately, too, there's a possibility since we got a little fake out above that upper trend line. We might retrace all the way down to the purple trend line, which would really, really stink for alts. But it's definitely a possibility. Maybe it goes back to 1.07. And that's that retrace. And then we get a breakout around the 22nd. I don't know. Obviously, Wednesday is going to be a big deal with the Fed rate cut decision. So this TA could just go completely out the window come Wednesday. But I'm going to do it nonetheless. ADA is down 4.35%, getting decimated compared to the other big altcoins. ADA currently sitting at 88.93. We got above 90 for a hot second, but it didn't last. Retail and ADA holders apparently are just weak-handed pussies. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. Sorry, guys. I love you. I'm one of you, but I'm not a weak-handed pussy, so. Anyways, 88, 85. Retrace target. If it continues, maybe look for 85, 86. Otherwise, we're going all the way down to 80, which really stinks. That would be 15%. Yeah, that's bull market stuff. If we go down to 80, though, that's kind of going to be cutting it close for a potential lower low, which we could get a lower low and then springboard from there. It just stinks seeing it. And I hope that I'm wrong as far as the longer term retrace goes. This thing grinds up really good, and then it comes down a little bit. Grinds up really good, comes down a little bit. Grinds up. This is not really good to me. This is half of what it's done in the past. And it has had retraces in the past. So hopefully this is what's happening right now, and it's not just going to do this whole, month-long spiel, because that sucks. Nobody wants to sit through that again. After 1-2 days of bullishness. It's stupid. Flexa said, gonna put you on Android Auto. Driving can listen. Appreciate you, Flexa. Tyler said, obviously, we watch no matter what, LOL. I don't know. I don't want to be mean, but when we watch every day, it's a little redundant. I mean, crypto's redundant, man. Unless you're dollar cost averaging. It's just the same thing every single time. Manuel Vera said, do you think we are seeing pullbacks to make a run on Monday into rate cuts, then pull back again? Thanks, JJ. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I have never, and the Fed did cut rates, I believe, during Biden's presidency. I don't recall observing that and watching the charts react. So I genuinely have no clue what's going to go down. I'm expecting the market to pump. We have asked Grok, and you know what? I'm even going to ask Grok again because I think that it's a useful tool. On Wednesday, if the Fed announces a rate cut of, 0.5 or 1, will the should the cryptocurrency market pump or dump? All right, let's see. Let's see what Grok says, because Grok knows a lot more than me. Is a lot more capable of scrubbing the internet. In the meantime, SNEK is down 5.2%. We're still well within 4, which makes me happy. We didn't touch 5, which is fine. We got a little rejection at 47.71, and we're currently dancing around 45. As long as we hold above 45, I'm happy. We might retrace all the way down to 4. I have no clue. We do seem to have retraced before and held that as support, but I could see it doing it one more time and then hopefully continuing. But we'll see. It might immediately rebound after the daily close. Who knows, man? XRP is up 2.78% on the day, getting a rejection seemingly around 320 and broke back below 310, currently sitting at 303. As long as it holds above $3, it's good. Otherwise, maybe look for a retrace all the way down to our upper trend line. Like, if it gets really bearish and breaks below 3, it might bounce right at this 290 level because of the purple trend line. RSI is resetting. Keep in mind, everything was really, really, really overbought this past week. Everyone got really excited. They all piled back in because everyone was super bearish just before that. And then everyone's like, oh, we're going to get rate cuts. And they're like, we are? Because nobody was expecting that because of like a really well-coordinated anti-rate cut FUD campaign just before the jobs numbers got completely reevaluated. Tyler, we got 20 minutes until the daily close contest, so make sure you guys stick around for that. Tyler said market will pumpy if we get a 50 really pumpy. Fox said also check Linea airdrop, folks. See if you qualified. Do it via official links from their X or something, new ETH layer or something. All right, I'm gonna put that in my tab so that I can check that out too, because I like free money. Linea airdrop. Okay. Then Coach said, hey, yo, can you check OVPP USDT, please? Yes, I can. Tom Salkscoat said, rate cuts after periods of no rate cuts are normally bullish, but anything is possible. I think we pump. Coach said, now people realize that this is not the alt season. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Generally, a Federal Reserve rate cut is viewed as bullish for the cryptocurrency market as it tends to increase liquidity, lower borrowing costs, weaken the US dollar, and encourage investment in riskier assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. This dynamic has historically supported price rallies in crypto and capital flowing out of safer assets like bonds into digital assets seeking higher returns. The FOMC meeting concludes on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, with the rate decision announced that afternoon. Markets are pricing in high probability of a cut with decent sentiment on X, and analyst reports leaning towards optimism for crypto's response. However, the market's reaction isn't guaranteed to be straightforward pump. It depends on the cut's size, the Fed's forward guidance, and the broader economic context. A cut perceived as pro-growth is more likely to drive gains, while one signaling panic over recession risks could spark fear and a sell-off. Volatility is common around these announcements, with potential for a sell the news event if the cut is already priced in. Bitcoin is currently trading around 115,800 to 116, showing pre-announcement strength and could test 120 if sentiment stays positive. Interesting. Okay. We'll read the rest of that later. But I think the volatility is going to be one thing that nobody's really prepared for. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm going to open up a long, and it's only going to be 5-6x, so it's going to be fine. And then they're going to get liquidated because the price is going to do one of those crazy up-down wicks, and then it's going to like linger and do its thing. But this is going to liquidate bears and bulls. And then everyone's going to be sad. Anyways, HBAR down 3.37% on the day, currently trading at 23.97. We got a rejection around 25, and we are potentially retesting 23.5. This is actually a good looking chart. I like this. 23.5 should hold. We'll see what happens though. RSI looks really good. Momentum wave looks really good. Let me take a look at Coach. Specifically asked for OBPP USDT. Okay. It's a little pumpy. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Your RSI is going down while the price goes up. But because you haven't had a above reaction yet, I guess I would look for this. If the price goes up a little bit higher here and then rejects and the RSI is still down here, that will be bearish div. But that bearish div will only spell a short-term downtrend and a potentially higher uptrend overall eventually, depending on the context and what happens. Obviously, it's not foolproof. You do have a green dot on your momentum wave, and your RSI seemingly bounced off of 50 and crossed bullish over the moving average. So potential upside is definitely there. SWE is down 3.33%, rejecting around 391, breaking below 370, currently trading at 368.68. Let's see if it ends up retracing all the way down to 353, or if we hold the midpoint, which would be around 362. RSI looks really good. Momentum wave pretty much reset. Tom Salk's GOAT. Yep, I read that. Coach said, yep, people selling their bags before alt season. Yeah, dude, I think that that's going to be the biggest problem last bull market. The theme was everyone round tripping. This bull market, the theme is going to be everyone selling way too early. People are going to take profits before the market even heats up. Tyler said, you know you're funny, LMAO. I can call you a gay bald guy with a stinky black shirt and you laugh. I make a suggestion to the stream and you get offensive. I respect it though. It's your grind. Just humorous though. I don't think that's funny. Where's Waterfly, man? I need him to see my blue shirt. I'm just gonna start sending him pictures of me just with different colored shirts on. That'd be funny. I was gonna say something, Tyler. I don't remember what I was gonna say. What was I gonna tell you? I don't remember. I'll think of it. Ondo down 4.13% on the day. Currently retraced, and it's kind of at the midpoint. It could retrace to $1. Ondo was doing really good. Your RSI is sitting right in the middle at 50. And momentum wave pointing to the downside, and it's below 50, which is awesome. Or below 0. It's below the halfway point. So, potentially reset. Fuck, though, such shirt as black. Stop gaslighting. It's not black. It's you're gaslighting me. There's no such thing as gaslighting. Look at how blue this is. Blue. blue. I don't know how else to prove to you that it's blue. You know, I had a really good, like, I had like a mind blown moment one time when I was younger. Colors might all look different to all of us. And that's kind of proven with colorblindness and people not realizing that they're colorblind until they're like old and they get their eyes checked out or whatever. But you and me both call this blue. Who's to say your blue doesn't look completely different, but because we all called it blue, everyone just thinks that this is blue. Your blue might look like purple and you might hate it. And my blue might look like green and I love it. Or, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Oh, it says Deadpool. It's Deadpool's shirt. I wear childish shirts because I'm a child. Okay, anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Ondo rejected at 110 and is currently sitting at 104.8. It is still riding the trend. I mean, that's not really a trend line, but it is riding it. Target for this is a big boy target. The little guy target, I think, is fulfilled already. We've measured it probably like 20 times. Little guy target definitely hit. Well, the little guy target's like 115. But big boy target is 145. We'll see where we end up. Tyler said, I don't know, maybe turn the damn light on. Dude, one of my favorite things was when I was interviewing Sean from Strike, because he's in like this big glowing beautiful white background and I'm in this pitch black like dungeon, and we schedule it because we're in different time zones. He's in China and the interview's over and the recording is done and whatever, and he goes, I gotta ask, he's like, where are you located? Why is it so dark there? And I started cracking up. I was like, I'm in Michigan right now. This is just a black sheet. It was so funny though, dude. I was dying. Oh man. Tom Stokes Goat said, I call that black and it looks smelly. I mean, it definitely probably smells. It passes the smell test though. The importance is passing the smell test. I was a smoker for like 10 plus years though, so my sense of smell is probably ruined. Navy blue is as bright as JJ goes. Right. Flexus said, did you see the new gay ass orange iPhone? I think Sailor loves it. Tom Stokes Goat said, LOL, I 100% am getting the orange 17. I think it looks sick. It's definitely a love or hate color. I just got a sick new old refurbished Google Pixel 7, which I'm very proud of, which is black, and I got the black outer box, both off of eBay. So okay, yeah, Ondo looks good. It is down 4% though, but again, you don't want to buy them when they're up. You want to buy them when they're down, and then when they recover, you make that 4%. Manuel said, you think Ondo will move below $1? Oof. I don't know. $1 is going to be very, very strong psychological support, but there's always a possibility for it to retest 95.35. I think 95.35 is a big, 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 big point of contention. The fact that it is sitting above it right now, and it kind of like struggled to get above it, but it got above it very, like, with a lot of strength when it did. I think that points to it holding as support if it gets down to there. That has been a huge point that we've been watching for a really long time. It's been a very important level, and it has held as support and resistance. So it's just a strong level no matter where you're coming from. So 95.35 is a level that I would watch for. Ergo is down 3.01%, and it is back below its horizontal resistance line around $1.20. It's at $1.19.3 right now. We'll see if it goes all the way down to 115 again, or even 110. It could not hold above 125, and it rejected hard twice at 130. So your RSI is cooling off very nicely, and so is your momentum wave. This is what we want. We want everything to chill, everyone to take a breather, and then when we come back to the bull market on Wednesday, we got plenty of room to go. All the oscillators have been reset. Pinlink is up 1.12%, which is actually pretty sick. Bounced beautifully off of 60. It's currently sitting at 64.21. Let's see if this thing can make a run for 75. It did reject the midpoint around 68, 69. So that's going to be my next big break. observation. And we are about to cross bullish over the moving average on the RSI, and you got a green dot on your momentum wave on market cipher. So potentially, not financial advice, number go up. Render is down 4.05% on the day, currently trading at 389.51. And we have not fulfilled any of our targets. So in my opinion, there's definitely potential for this thing to continue to the upside. However, we might be looking for a retrace, in which case, if it does come all the way down to the purple trend line, which is a possibility, then that will scoot our targets and make them a little bit lower. Not by much, but it might move my 452 down to 432. So we'll keep an eye on it though. We'll see where we do end up bouncing. RSI looks good. It's resetting. Volume looks great. Momentum wave also resetting. The stage is set. Volume looks really good. Stellar is down 3.88% on the day. It is holding its 38.5 level, the lower level of our range, our trading range. So let's see if that gets a nice bounce, and then we can make our way up to 46 and see if we can break that next as well, because that's going to be a big one. And, oop, I didn't mean to do that. And then let's see if we can eventually break 52. 52 is such a strong resistance. It's going to be a big one for Stellar, in my opinion. Tyler said, no shit. I just got Google Pixel 10 for my upgrades because wife dropped her phone in the toilet. Why is it so common, dude? My fiance dropped her phone in the toilet before, too. Tyler said, so we both got one. Nice. Dude, I love the Google Pixel. I'm like a Google phone maxi now. I hope they never get rid of it. But I will point out, everything that I love usually gets discontinued, so prepare yourself. Top Stock Scout said, besides being gross, why would dropping it in the toilet matter? Phones have been water resistant for like 8 years. Maybe there's poop in it. Maybe it's not poop resistant. Or piss resistant. Flexa said, got a spare S23 256. If you want it, I'll message you on Discord later. Me? I like my crappy little phone. Is that new? Is that a newer phone? Tyler said, because she has had her phone screen repaired, which means not factory tight. Oh, dang, that sucks. Well, that sounds like you wouldn't do a crappy repair guy. I do phone repairs, and I make sure that that shit is, like, glued on. To the point where if you ever have to remove the screen again, you're probably going to end up having to break it. Polkadot is down 3.94% on the day, rejected 459, and broke below 444. Midpoint kind of broke past the midpoint right now. We're probably going down to 421. We'll see, though. We might get a reaction just before 421 based on these two little lumpy guys right there. Maybe like 425. Regardless, RSI looks really good. Momentum wave resetting. Volume looks great. Breakout still in play. We'll see what goes down. Fartcoin. Down 8.53%. The Fartcoin fractal is slowly but surely failing me and my family. It rejected at 95 and broke below 90 again. It's currently sitting at 87.008. We'll see if it goes all the way down to 83.27. Otherwise, a bounce here would be awesome. RSI resetting, momentum wave resetting. Volume looks pretty similar. Actually, it looks a little bad. Volume looks bad compared to previous volume. 87.008. Let's see if 83.2 holds if it goes down that far. Worst case scenario, we might come down to 80. But we'll see. Cash is down 4.6% on the day, currently trading at 85473. This thing's probably for sure going to 82.76, but again, we'll see. It does have support here based on the price action. So it is a little bit sloppy though, so I suppose you could go lower technically. We'll see what happens. We'll see what plays out. Volume looks the same. Yeah, volume's been pretty steady. I would like to see some increased volume on CAS in order for me to get a little more conviction in the play. Otherwise, pump looking for a break of 88. Dump looking for a hold up to 82. Avalanche is down 1.83% on the day. Avalanche holding up very nicely, currently trading at 29.53, well above, or not well above, right above 29.51. We'll see if it does retrace and end up touching 28.34. Otherwise, a bounce here would be sick, and then 32.5 might be in the cards. We did get a midpoint rejection on $31 as well, which is what led to this. So you got break, rejection, midpoint support, break, midpoint resistance, support, hopefully break, midpoint support, and then continuation if it continues doing that. Otherwise, I could just break here and then find support at 32.5, but we'll see. Chainlink is down 3.26% on the day, broke below 24.42. We are at some temporary, I would call it horizontal support right here. Maybe even a little bit lower. I would go right there based on this wick specifically, but you got resistance, resistance, resistance. Technically support. I could actually take it back a little bit further here, I'm sure. And that is a little temporary, I would call it, or part-time point of interest. If we break below that, then we'll look for our 23 level. But for now, look for that 23.8 to maybe hold. Doge is down 4.11% on the day, broke below 28 after rejecting 30 and trying to hold 28 as support. If we get a midpoint reaction here, it'll probably be 26.5. Otherwise, 25 definitely in the cards. That might actually be in play because we kind of broke above it without retracing at all. So retrace to 25 might be our bare minimum. Otherwise, we might have to come all the way down to this 23 level that I mapped out back here when I thought that we were going to get a proper pullback. RSI resetting, momentum wave barely resetting actually. Momentum wave kind of struggling to reset. Volume looks really good. We'll see what comes up. And near is down 3.84% on the day, currently trading at 270. Holding support at 269, surprisingly holding very well. If it does retrace, though, it might come all the way down to the purple trend line, which at the time would probably be around 256-ish. If it does do that, we'll see if we get a reaction. Otherwise, our midpoint in between 251 and 269 is around 260. So we could get a spot right there as well. RSI momentum wave resetting very nicely. Volume, I think I said volume looked good earlier. I think I lied. Volume looks pretty similar. So I want to see more volume out of this. Peg is down 4.93%. Rejected horizontal resistance around 38.36. Broke back below 35. Currently sitting at 34.69. Nice. And got a nice bounce off of 33.82. So let's see if that 33.82 continues to hold. Otherwise, midpoint reaction, maybe 32.41. Keep an eye on it. RSI looks good. Resetting and momentum wave definitely resetting. So potential for upside out of Pengu. Silver. 42.069, nice. Silver just spitting up the 69s left and right. We like that. DXY, choppy, sideways, boring, nobody cares. MicroStrategy looks good for hopefully a breakout tomorrow. NASDAQ also looks delicious, and the S&P looks amazing. S&P breaking records every single day during trading hours. Bitcoin dominance, 57.77. Hopefully this thing breaks 57.68. It looks like it's lingered at the same spot since we started the stream, though, so we'll see. And Bitcoin itself is currently down 0.66% on the day and falling 115, 135, and 1 penny. Let's see if she breaks 114.895. We got less than 1 minute remaining until the daily close contest, so make sure you guys get your guesses ready. Let me transition to our 1 minute time frame. Zoom in a little bit here. We're making good time today. And we lingered a little bit on some useless conversations, which I will say are probably my favorite part of the stream. The nonsense conversations, that's like the most fun part of the stream. So I have this software that I've been using called Riverside, and you upload content to it, and then it spits out a bunch of junk, like shorts, clips, and it formats it really nicely for editing. So I can edit my own stuff really easily as well. It literally like transcribes the entire thing based on the mic. And if there's words that are wrong, I can change them and fix it and stuff. It's really cool. And I put in the episode from like 2 days ago. Hang on. You guys can get your guesses in for the daily close contest right now. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. So I put this episode from like 2 days ago in, and it spits out, and this was the one with the bacon wrapped meatloaf that looked like a log of poop. And no joke, like it creates titles for the content as well. Tom Southcote said Riverside, motherfucker. Dude, I love it. I love it. It's so nice. The software is amazing. I don't know how I did anything without it before. So I'm just going to show you guys because I was dying. Right here. Literally, Bacon Wrapped Turd Challenge was one of the AI titles that it spit out. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was crying, dude. I thought that was the funniest thing. Bacon wrapped turd challenge. What is a bacon wrapped turd challenge? I didn't have anything about a bacon wrapped turd challenge. Cracking up, dude. That shit was so funny. Tom Selleck Scoped coming in with a 115 250. Tyler said the nonsense conversation is what I was talking about. Would free up more time for it. I mean, we don't necessarily have a time crunch. You guys just kind of dissipate after the daily close contest, so I'm more than open to useless conversation all day. It's summer, though. So I don't expect anybody to stick around, to be completely honest. You've got lives. Flex said bacon wrapped turd challenge. We joked about it being a turd wrapped in bacon, and we mentioned the daily close contest. I don't think that the word challenge was ever even uttered. And the AI just decided that there was a bacon wrapped turd challenge. I was cracking up, dude. I was like, what is that? I was so upset. I was like, what is a bacon wrapped turd challenge, man? Tom Selleck's Code said we talked about bacon wrapped turd a few days ago as one of the daily closes. I know, that's what I'm talking. It was on that episode, but it just decided to name it bacon wrapped turd challenge. It's like, what the fuck is that? You know what? Maybe that's when we were talking about if you would eat it for $1 million. Whoa. Aaron said, "Boy, you made my day." Oh, dude, go back and watch the episode. That episode is pretty funny. Would you eat a bacon wrapped turd for $1 million? I think Neki Reki said he would do it if it was his turd, but not mine. And I said, what if you could control my diet for like a week leading up to it? And he said that he'd probably do it then. These are important questions, man. You guys got 2 minutes remaining to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Chance for you to win up to $100. Get your guesses in. We only have 2 entries so far. All you got to do is tell us what you think the daily close price for Bitcoin is going to be on the Binance USDT chart, where it is currently trading for 115, 305, and 51 cents. Just tell us in the chat. And if it doesn't go through, maybe try submitting it like Dremmer, or put letters in between the numbers. Aaron said, bro, I was reading Platon, so let's love win. I don't know what that is. Tyler said $1 million. I'm eating the shit out of that turd. Exactly. Dude, that's what I said. That pulse play coming in with 115, 345. Flexa said animal or human? I think it has to be human in order for the $1 million to be reasonable. Because animal, you know, I would pick a horse. Horses just have dry, like, stupid turds. Can you move up on the screen? You want to see, like, the upwards price action? Yeah. Here, I'll fix it a little bit more. Like that? How's that? 115, 169, and 0 cents. You guys got 41 seconds remaining to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Tyler, our current reigning champ. Oh, I didn't even transition to the game screen. My bad. Tyler coming in with 115, 169.00. Tyler, current reigning champ with 36 wins. There is 21 seconds remaining on the clock. Cheers, guys. Happy Sunday. Appreciate you guys for being here. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And, whoops, I'm not typing. Oh, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating in the daily close contest. Let's get these bad boys up on the screen. We're getting a little pumpy here. That's exciting. We got 115, 440.69 from Dremmer. We got that pulse player with 115, 345. It is a cup of tea. Yes, it is. How'd you know, Flexa? Why is it so light? It's a chai latte with oat milk. 115, 250. Yeah, if that was coffee, I'd be alarmed. My coffee's a little bit darker than that. I do like cream in my coffee, though. And I get dark roast, so. Only because I have, like, GERD or something. I have, like, chronic heartburn from all the cigarette smoking that I did when I was younger. I do still thoroughly miss smoking cigarettes. Mr. Roberts said I'm late. Hello, JJ. Hello, good people. What's going on, Mr. Roberts? Plexus said because I'm English. That's right. That is exactly why. Dude, we invented a language, still kills me, like, on a regular basis. That shit was so funny. I don't even remember what the word we were talking about, like how to pronounce a certain word or something stupid. And you're like, we invented the language. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. You're right. My bad. Tyler said, are you not? Didn't I put 115? Oh, you just wanted to be straight up 115K? Well, no. Then no. I'm not honoring a 115. Not today. I like where we're at. Everyone's pretty chill. Well, no, I'll honor the 115. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I got you, Tyler. Creating conflict where it doesn't exist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got 2 minutes and 58 seconds remaining on the clock. Currently, that Pulse Playa is in the lead newly. Bitcoin currently trading at 115, 378, 56 cents. Get a little pumpy here. Never would have thunk. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because we got plenty of room, plenty of time. Tyler's guess 115, 169, followed by Tom Selleck's Scout 115, 250. That Pulse Playa currently in the lead with 115, 345. Bitcoin 115, 384, 95. And then Dremmer 115, 440, 69. Nice. Will we get our first $100 prize winner today? If you guys are unfamiliar with the contest, closest without going over. If you do go over, your guess is completely void. Closest without going over wins bragging rights. If you nail the first 6 digits, you win $20. If you nail all 8, which includes a change, you win $100. And you got a chance to do this every single day. It's completely free. All you have to do is subscribe, smash the like button, and turn on the bell for notifications. Appreciate you guys for sticking around. That Pulse Playa's guess is getting increasingly close to that $100 prize. His guess 115,345. Bitcoin's price 115,358. Both even without any change, which is pretty tremendous. 115,357.99. We got 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining on the clock. Flexa said, do you reckon we get 3 cuts in a row? Probably. Yeah. We'll see though. Tyler said $200. Oh yeah, that's true. Tyler is matching any $100 win, so the prize will be $200 if you match all 6 digits. 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining on the clock. Aaron said, good night, bro. Let's think about love. All right. Cheers. Cheers. Flexa said, when Banana Zone? Hopefully soon, man. Tyler said, I need a big dump to retest. Increasingly close to that Pulse Player's guess. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. Manuel, unfortunately, you are super duper late. We got 44 seconds until the daily close. So you get from 750 to 755 is your guess window. And then after that, it's a hard cutoff. That Pulse Player said, oh, I will buy a lot of your choice, JJ, if I get 200. Okay. 115, 315, and 95 cents. 28 seconds remaining on the clock. Tom Selleck Scout now in the lead with his guess of 115, 250 even. Bitcoin is getting a little bit dumpy. Will Tyler take it again? I didn't change his thing. There we go. 115, 304, and 13 cents. 10 seconds left on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of today's daily close contest, Mr. Tom Selleck's Goat, 115, 268 and 1 penny for Bitcoin's daily close. 115, 268.01. 115, 268.01. Congratulations, Tom Selleck's Goat, on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat for our winner. Congratulations, my friend. With a guess of 115, 250 even. Very cool. Last night, I watched the Charlie Sheen 2-part documentary on Netflix, and it was pretty, actually, it went 100% how I was expecting. I gotta say, I'm impressed that the dude's alive. I feel bad for his family for what he put them through, but I mean, it seems like he's doing great now, which is awesome. Congratulations, Tom Selleck on your victory. Let me press your button. Yay! Wow, very cool. Flexa said, Manam Tussauds does such good wax corpses. Oops, I mean dummies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, transition back to our regularly scheduled programming. And let me add Tom Selleck to the winner's Google Doc. Tom Selleck definitely ruling September so far with, I think, three wins. No, him and Tyler are tied for September. Actually, Tyler has 4. Tom Selleck 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yep. All right, forget I said anything. Just completely forget I said anything at all. Congratulations, Tom Selleck on your victory. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas. And can I get a drum roll, please? Oh, that kind of drum roll. The winner of today's daily close contest with a guess of 115, 250 even, and an actual Bitcoin daily close of 115, 268 and 1 penny on September 14th, 2025. Mr. Tom Selleck prize is a meatball sub. Congratulations, Tom Selleck, on your victory. Enjoy your meatball sub. Feel free to divvy up the meatballs amongst your friends, family, staff, maybe some mistresses or misters. Is that what they're called? Whatever you do, you are legally obligated to remove it from the premises. Congratulations once again on your victory. Enjoy. There's a meatball mozzarella sub. And it looks homemade. It looks homemade to me. Bun looks a little crunchy as well, which is the right kind of bread. If the bread does not cut the roof of your mouth, it is not good bread. That's just my opinion. And as an Italian man who is also 50% French, I am 1000% entitled to judge bread more than you are. Cheers. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some news articles to go through. Currently, Michael Saylor is planning on buying more Bitcoin tomorrow, which is very cool. He posted his cute little chart and he said, Bitcoin deserves credit. And yeah. TechDev posted the chart again. Red equals top. Red top equals business cycle peaks. So Bitcoin peaks. Purple, bear market. Because, or BC, what the hell's BC? Business cycle and Bitcoin fall together. That's what it is. Green, bull market ramp. Business cycle keeps falling while Bitcoin grinds up. And bull market parabola, business cycle reverses. So business cycle and Bitcoin rise together. Okay, so we are currently in green, which is bull market ramp. And we're looking for that eventual red for the bull market parabola where the business cycle reverses. So business cycle and Bitcoin can rise together. That's what it is. Lexa said half a baguette, half a spaghetti. Tom Selleck said, guys, Irish gaslighting about his ethnicity now. I'm not Irish. I don't know why everyone thinks I'm Irish. The guys from Dong the other day asked me if I was 6'2". They thought I was 6'2", which is crazy. I'm definitely not 6'2". But I am taller than like probably the 90% of the population of Ireland. Okay. Marty Party posted, in the last 10 hours, Galaxy Digital has bought another 325,000 Solana worth $78 million as it brokers deals for DATs and ETFs. Interesting. Next, FOMC is in 3 days, 3 hours, 93% chance of 25% or 25 basis point rate cut, 6% chance of 50 basis point rate cut. It's going to be spicy. Marty Party also posted, Alex Thorne, head of firm-wide research at Galaxy Digital, wrote, I still think there's a strong chance the U.S. government will announce this year that it has formed a strategic Bitcoin reserve and is formally holding Bitcoin as a strategic asset. He added that the market is completely underpricing the odds of this happening before the end of 2025, emphasizing the need for the US to begin acquiring Bitcoin soon to avoid being outpaced by other nations. Gold ETF assets are skyrocketing. There is now a record $215 billion in assets under management in US gold ETFs. The value of gold ETF assets has doubled over the last 2 years. This comes as investors have piled into gold, with prices experiencing their strongest run since the 1970s. Year to date, US gold ETFs have acquired a massive 279 tons of gold. By comparison, European and Asian gold ETF AUM stands at a combined 199 billion. Gold demand is incredibly strong. Number go up. The stock market is incredibly hot. Since 1975, there have only been 6 times where the S&P 500 rose plus 30% or more in 5 months. 2025 is one of those times. In 100% of these cases, the S&P 500 has ended higher in the following 6 and 12 months, per Carson Research. In fact, during such occurrences, the S&P 500 has rallied by an average of 18.1% in the following 12 months. On top of it all, the Fed is about to begin cutting rates directly into the AI revolution. This week begins a new era of markets. It's definitely going to be completely different, I think, from what anyone has ever experienced, which is why I think we see all of these old Wall Street heads talking so much crap about Bitcoin, because they cannot comprehend it. Like, do you remember early internet, when your parents thought that the internet was on that disk that the internet service provider gave you, like the Earthlink or the AT&T or T-Mobile, or what? Not even T-Mobile isn't around, those Netscape disks just to install the browser? Your parents probably thought the whole internet was on that disk. That is what is happening with these boomers and Bitcoin. They don't understand it. They think it's a Ponzi scheme, and then they compare it to a Ponzi scheme, and they don't realize the irony in what they're talking about is the US dollar and any other fiat currency. It's the same exact concept as what they're comparing it to. But Bitcoin is not that, because you can't just print Bitcoin out of thin air. It costs a lot of money to create Bitcoin, and you're not even creating it. You're just being given it by the protocol, and it's a limited supply. And that supply gets halved every 4 years. It's crazy. Lexus said, bro, remember floppy disks? I don't remember floppy disks. I remember the hard version of floppy disks. Hard disks. I don't even think that they're called hard disks. That's what's in the hard drive, which is now solid state, which is pretty funny. Mr. Roberts said, there's almost no chance that Trump has not crafted a way to have their government buy Bitcoin this cycle. No way at all. All they said is that they need a budget neutral way. So they're not going to like write in the budget for them to get money for Bitcoin accumulation. They're going to like steal money from cartels or something. They're going to seize money from criminals and convert it into Bitcoin or something. You know, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe we're going to start selling all the drugs that we see from the cartels back to the cartels in another country. I wouldn't be surprised if the CIA does that already, or the FBI, whoever gets this black budget situation. Anyways, next we got Colin Talks Crypto posting, ETH just made a lower high. In doing so, it has the potential to form a head and shoulders. Will this pattern result in continuation upward, or will it serve as a local top pattern with a correction before new all-time highs? Based on how overheated I think ETH and ETH BTC are in the short term, I'm guessing it may form a short-term top pattern, correct down a bit, 3,500 to 3,800. I think if we lost 4K, dude, people would freak out. And then bounce quickly and break out into all-time highs right after that. I know, it's a bold call, but that's what I see as being the most likely. If ETH doesn't break above the neckline, then it's likely to be a continuation pattern, direct move up. Okay. Flexus said, oh, hold on. Tom Telescope said 5 1/4 or 3 1/2. Both were called floppy. Flexus said, nah, they're going to revalue gold and use the profits to have a golden era based on gold. Tom Telescope said, you remember 3 1/2? I was of the 5 1/4 generation. Interesting. I did have Lemmings on floppy disk, which was the hard disk. the hard version of the floppy disk. The one that I think that the save file icon is based on. And that shit was fun. That was such a fun game. Okay, so anyways, this guy's calling for some fugly Head and Shoulders, which I don't think... I think that that's completely invalidated with this break of the neckline. So, I see what he's saying. That would just be a triple top, though. But, to each their own. Cointelegraph posted insight. Web3 exec says stablecoin tickers are dead. Your wallet will just say USD while AI takes care of the rest. What's going to be crazy is when, like, it's going to be divvied up. And you're not going to know, you know. In the foreground, you're going to just say, like, 10,000 USD. In the background, it's going to be, like, 8,000 Tether and 2,000 some other, you know, stablecoin that no one's ever heard of. And what happens if that $2,000 one depegs? And then, like, a weird percentage of your money is, like, slowly devaluing. And you're like, what the hell's going on? This is going to be a mess, man. The regulations for stablecoin. I feel bad for whoever has to write regulations for stablecoins. Tom Solid Scout said, yes, Lemming's a great game. Is it a great game? Tisha said, yo, crow pumping. Has it bottomed? I don't know. You said it wasn't. You said it wasn't going to pump. Let's go see. Maybe they bought some more. Oh, you know what? I think I drew some, I guess on OKX. Yeah. We got 24.89 to break through if we do come back up. This is just where it decided to bounce. Let's see. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it. Yeah, there really isn't any specific line. It does look good though. That is a 3.45% candle. Just that candle alone. People are scooping her up. There is not a lot of support though. Until, if you're lucky, 21.4. Otherwise 20. Bitcoin maybe waking up a little bit here. Congratulations, Tom Selleck Scout, once again on your victory. Enjoy your meatball mozzarella sub. Next, we got update. The ETH exit queue spiked as 2.6 million ETH will now wait 45 days to unstake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the genius of Vitalik. Lock up your Ethereum in liquid, illiquid staking, which is not liquid at all. If it's locked at all, it is illiquid. Lock up your ETH, and then the bull market comes and goes, and then you get it unlocked at the Pico bottom. Genius. What a genius. Next, we got huge. Bitcoin is 0.5% away from seeing its best September ever. Wow. Let's actually look that up. Bitcoin monthly returns. CoinGlass. Bam. Currently, September 6.93. They said it was 0.5. It must have been higher then. Yeah, it's come down a little bit. Okay. So Bitcoin needs to be higher than 7.29 in order for, on the monthly, in order for this to be the best September ever. Which would be pretty cool if each September just got more and more bullish every September in a row. That'd be kind of sweet. If we do have a green September, history shows that October, November, December will also be super duper green. December is iffy because last year we did not get a green December, but the year prior we did. And the other two times we had a green September, we got a green December as well. Dang, look at 2015. Woo! That's awesome. Heck yeah. Even 2013 is even better. Okay. Tyler said, Pinlick News, coach said 3 days before 100 basis points. Tishu said, so seems like just a little bounce, not fully convinced yet. Flexa said, there's a lot of unstaking to restake for better, newer yields. Most of it will be locked back up in other DeFi spots. Coach said, are you interested in the robots sector? My main is Robora, RBR, small cap, no risk, no Rari. Enter in 9 months now, or 9 mil, now 18 mil. Okay. I do have interest in the robot sector. I'm curious, and this might be a really dumb question. Is Boston Dynamics and in any way, shape, or form affiliated with any publicly traded companies? Because that's where I would want to put my money. Flexa said they ain't gonna something to time the top, surely. I don't know. They ain't gonna try to time the top. I don't know if we're even gonna get a top like we think. But you know, that I'm not allowed to think that way because everyone's like, oh, are you saying this time is different? Yeah. Maybe it will be. Bitcoin quarterly returns Q3 historically on average 6.19. Ooh, look at Q4 average is literally 85.42%. What? 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 What happened in 2017? 2013? Yeah, dude, Q4 is where it happens. And September is the last month of Q3. That's pretty sick. I'm excited, man. I'm so excited for Q4. ETH. See, ETH doesn't have anything even remotely exciting like that. How does Bitcoin have... I don't get it. Okay, I guess, no, ETH is more Q1, Q2. I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that. I guess there's more if you added up these averages and those averages an average amount. ETH would have an average higher return just because it's market cap difference, but whatever. Anyways, we got Robert Kiyosaki. Even 0.01 of a Bitcoin is going to be priceless in 2 years. That is the new goal. Plexus said Q4 send it. Tom Salkscote said Hyundai owns 80 and SoftBank owns the other 20 of Boston Dynamics. Damn. That sucks. So it's just completely unavailable. Does that technically make it private? That's interesting. I remember watching the Boston Dynamics footage like way early on, like their first uploads, and it blew my mind. And then that just evolved into like a whole subgenre of YouTube, which is kind of cool. Mustache posted before versus after. I hope I was able to help you. If so, show some love. There is much more to come for alts. The chart follows the plan. 2019, we got a mini alt season. 2021, we got a mini alt season. 2021, we got alt season 2021. 2025, alt season 2025. I would call this, that's technically not alt season. That's so weird. That Bitcoin down, it's went up throughout the year and altcoins still performed well. Kind of trips me out. It's an interesting chart though, for sure. Then next, we got crypto will pump in September. Bitcoin will finally hit 150K. ETH will pump to 10K. Altcoins will go parabolic. Monster rally is loading. And then I really like this chart, Q3, Q4, pointing out that we are here, optimism, in between optimism and relief, in my opinion. I pointed out that I thought that we were right around optimism like 2-3 weeks ago, probably. And it still feels that way. We could be a little bit in between optimism and belief, but we really have not even begun that parabolic phase. If we're lucky, this will be the beginning of it. But it's going to have to get a little more straight up in order for me to be fully convinced that we've hit that spot. Congratulations, Tom Salkscote, once again on your victory. Let me check something really quick. Tom Salkscote is currently ranked in 3rd place. And he just got one more win, putting him at 19, which is only 2 below Fahid. I'm just saying. That's pretty crazy. Coach said for Rabora, hardware and component partners have like NVIDIA, Meta, Intel, and more. Nice. Okay. I actually, I think I might have accidentally struck gold with one of my stocks. I bought some, and I literally just asked Grok. Where is it? I think it's APLD. Applied Digital. Technology company engages in the provision of development and operation of data centers, which provide computing power And I was like, oh, that's going to be gigantic. So I bought some, which is pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm doing pretty good on my buy. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing really good on my buy, which is the first time in a long time that I've done anywhere decent when it comes to stocks. Okay. Next. This is the last one, actually. Key events this week from the Kobayashi letter. Tuesday, we got August retail sales data. Wednesday, Fed interest rate decision. FOMC press conference. Fed dot plot projections. That is the big day. Wednesday is the big day, guys. We got tomorrow and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, hopefully. We're going to manifest here. Wednesday is the day our lives change for the better. Wednesday is the day that we retire our entire bloodline. Wednesday is the day that we realize that we waited for the right reward. Wednesday is the day. Then Thursday, we got Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index and initial jobless claims data. That's it. The first Fed rate cut of 2025 is coming this week, according to the Kobayashi letter. We shall see. We shall see. I am very excited. Let's go read what the rest of the Grok thing is. For a 0.5 50 basis point cut, this size is more likely to result in a pump for the crypto market in the short term. Days to weeks post-announcement, here's why. It's aggressive enough to signal the Fed's commitment to easing without screaming emergency, which boosts investor confidence and risk appetite. Historical precedent, similar 50 basis point cuts led to positive market reactions with high-yield assets, including crypto, rallying as liquidity increases and capital rotates in. Crypto-specific tailwinds. Lower rates make holding non-yielding assets like Bitcoin more attractive relative to bonds, potentially accelerating ETF inflows and altcoin momentum. Recent discussions highlight expectations of a Q4 rally, with alts potentially outperforming Bitcoin. That said, if longer-term treasury yields rise anyway due to persistent inflation, it could mute the upside. Markets have debated investor responses to the size, with some concern over short-term pullbacks if it underwhelms. For a 1% 100 basis point cut, the larger jumbo cut is more likely to cause a dump initially, though it could set up for longer-term recovery reasoning. It signals deeper economic concerns, which can trigger risk-off behavior across markets, including crypto. Past aggressive cuts, have led to sharp drops in Bitcoin. While it floods the system with even more liquidity, potentially boosts GDP by 1% and inflation by 0.5%, the immediate fear factor often outweighs the positives, leading to sell pressure on risk assets. Crypto correlation to stocks. U.S. indices have shown flat or negative performance 3 months after initial cuts in tough economic environments, and crypto often amplifies those moves. However, if the cut stabilizes sentiment over time, it could catalyze a rebound, and with estimates of 2 to 2.5 trillion and fresh liquidity injecting into markets. Dang, that's a lot of money. Coach said, so 99% chance of Powell 25. I think it's 99% chance of 50. Am I right? We did just read that, didn't we? I don't know. We'll have to check it out. In summary, expect a pump on 50 basis point cut as it aligns with a controlled easing narrative, but brace for potential dumps on 100 basis point cut. Okay, let me ask Grok. Do you think we see a 50? Or I guess, what size basis point cut? What size cuts do you think we get from the Fed on Wednesday? Like I said, look back at previous cuts. Usually they have been take profit signals. I don't think so. I think everything points to it not. Unless it's a big cut. If it's a big cut, then yes. Mad Peter Peppers wants to take a look at Roar. Let's go take a look. I'll ask it that, Alexa. Watch list. Roar. Bam. Up 18.2%. Nice. The continuation continues. Broke through one very nicely. Currently dancing around 12. It's at 1162. Yeah, this is awesome. This thing's cranking, dude. As soon as you got above 85, it was game on. You did film that wick, though, so be careful. RSI is incredibly overbought still. We are, and I say we, I mean Roar. Yeah, all-time high is at 1450-ish. So if it gets higher than that, then it's really getting exciting. Let's see if this thing goes up to $27.99. That'd be sick. Congratulations. I want brownies or something, man. Alright. Flexa said, you're doing very good at reading my typos. You're used to it now, missing T's. Where? That's usually hate. Oh, you're right. You're right. Usually I read it the wrong way on purpose, though, just to piss the person off who typed it. Tyler said, Pinlink news or nah. Pinlink? What the F? Pinlink. Coach said, so 99% chance Apollo, 25, 50. Tom Selkscoat said, hate it when the cut is passive aggressive. That was funny. That was a good one. Passive aggressive rate cuts. All right, let's go take a look and see if there's any news from Pinlink. For Tyler, really quick. Okay, Pinlink. We're delighted to announce another announcement. Pinlink is expanding. Ooh, see, this is satisfying. This is what I like to see. We're securing 5 megawatts of capacity coming online in just 6 months, dedicating to scaling our tokenized miner operations. Milestone unlocks the next phase of growth for Pin and Pinlink ecosystem. It's about more than just energy. That was 4 hours ago. Finalizing 2 strategic energy investments in the UAE and Uzbekistan. Okay. So they are genuinely like being strategic about where they set up based on, dude, Bitmain makes a whole freaking container. That is sick. This is pretty cool. I don't know. I don't want to get too lost in it. I'm going to go and throw all my money at it again. Okay. Grok. Based on current market pricing, economist surveys, and recent economic data, like the August CPI, 2.9% year over year, and softening job market indicators, I expect the Fed to announce a 25 basis point rate cut. This would lower the federal funds rate target range to 4 to 4.25 from the current 4.25 to 4.5. They better do more than 25. That would piss me off. Market probabilities traders are assigning to 25. Okay, so yeah, I guess it is 25. That's stupid. Okay. All right, let me ask it. Based on previous rate cuts, I'm going to say 25 basis points specifically. Cuts. Should the market pump or dump after the news? All right, let's see what it says. Bitcoin 115.205 and 49 cents, 115.211 cents. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Happy Sunday. Quick portfolio update. Our 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is up $19. Pretty chill. We got 5 assets in the green and 5 in the red. Top 5, we got Solana up 44, ADA up 15, Doge up 15, Render up 6, and Ondo up 5. Near, Proppy, Shib, Fetch, and Aptos all down. Next, we got our Memecoin portfolio up $68. We have 1 asset in the negative. WIF is up 80, Pepe is up 43, Doge is up 38, SNEK is up 3, and GigaChad is down 99. Then we got our narrative portfolio, my favorite, and what was once the best performer, and is now probably just the most stable. It is up $119.39. This portfolio is made up of 1 meme coin, 1 artificial intelligence coin, 1 decentralized physical infrastructure coin, 1 real world asset coin, sometimes I forget, and 1 gaming coin. And it is absolutely killing it. Pep is up $65, Mana is up $28, Tau is up $21, Fetch is up $12, and VChain is the only one that is negative. It is down $10. Tyler said, gotta go, like and sub, bitches. Appreciate you, Tyler. Happy Sunday, my friend. And then the perfect entry portfolio, which you guys built, all with votes. There are 9 assets in this portfolio with intentions of adding a 10th if we get a dip, which is the right opportunity. The idea of this portfolio is to buy when the market is red and everyone is screaming that we've topped. And so far, we're up $222 with an initial investment of $800. Every single asset except for Render is in the green. Render's down $4. The Graph is up 6. Pith is up 8. Ondo's up 17. ETH is up 18. Swee's up 20. Sol is up 34. Crow is up 58. And Chainlink is up a whopping $60 and 60%. This portfolio is shredding. You guys killed it with those choices for sure. Grok. Historically, the cryptocurrency market reaction to 25 basis point Fed cut is mixed in the short term. Hours to days post announcement often featuring volatility or a sudden news dip if the cut was widely anticipated, following it by a pump in the medium to longer term. I can't read today, man. Weeks to months as increased liquidity supports risk assets like Bitcoin. This pattern stems from markets pricing in the cuts beforehand, leading to profit taking immediately after, but easier monetary policy eventually driving inflows into crypto. Key historical examples. Here is a breakdown of notable 25 basis point Fed rate cuts since crypto's mainstream emergence, focusing on Bitcoin as a market proxy. Reactions can vary for altcoins, which often amplify Bitcoin moves. Date of cut, December 18th, 2024. Context, final cut in the 2024 cycle to 425 to 450. Hawkish guidance on fewer 2025 cuts. Immediate reaction, Bitcoin dumped 5.4% to $100,300. Total crypto market cap shed $200 billion. That's actually crazy that it was 100K back in December. I don't remember that. Short term, 1 week down 6 to 7% overall, with ETH and alts following suit. Medium term, 1 to 3 months, recovered 14% in January 2025, building toward Q1 highs. Sell the news did expectations. Focus shifted to dot plot, signaling slower easing. November 7th, 2024. Post-election cut funds rate to 4.5 to 4.75. Pro-growth narrative amid Trump win. Bitcoin pumped 8% to new all-time high of 76,700. Up 10 to 12% with strong momentum in the first week. And then medium term, 1 to 3 months, gained 30% into year end, fueled by liquidity and ETF inflows. Interesting. That doesn't really make any sense, though. That must be 1 month. That's crazy. I gotta look at that return on November for Bitcoin. That seems like a huge return, because November to December, and then December being bad, it definitely wasn't 2 to 3 months. It was that definitely in that 1 month area. For the upcoming September 17th cut, history suggests a higher likelihood of an initial dump or sideways action due to being locked in, but a pump could follow if Powell's press conference signals more easing ahead. Crypto's correlation to stocks, S&P 500, often dips short-term after cuts in non-recessionary environments, amplifies this. This isn't financial advice, blah, 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 blah. So it sounds like it's such a mixed bag that even Grok has no idea what the hell is going to happen. We'll have to see. It really sounds like it boils down to how the Fed talks about the cut afterwards and going forward. Because people are starting to price in multiple cuts this year still. So if they mention that, then we could get a little more pumpy. If not, though, and we trend sideways, then I'm still voting 1,000% on that 2026 bull market. I really do believe that that's where we're heading. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's it for the day. That's it for the news. Congratulations, Tom Selleck Scope, once again on your victory. Market looks pretty chill. Bitcoin 115, 154, and 48 cents. ETH looking a little green. Let's take a look. Total 3. Total 3, 1.13. It is trying to get back above 1.13 again, which is nice. I want to go to total 2. Ooh, okay. We got this fractal that I adjusted, I think. Is this the one that I adjusted? No. No, it is not. Okay, so this is from this move back here. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so let's see if total 2 does the same move that it's done in the past. Which it could be that even. That'd be kind of funny. Regardless, we're looking at potential upside around Wednesday, September 17th. Unless I scoot it like I just did. Oops. Like I just did. Yep. Right there. Let's call it right there. Then we're looking at upside right now. Downside leading into the Fed cut. And then Thursday, skyrocket. That'd be pretty sick. We'll see what happens. It does look like total 2 broke that current all-time high. That's actually a huge deal. Let me make this a little more transparent. That's crazy. I did not know this happened. We got 1.71 trillion on total 2 broke after breaking 1.68 with ease. Flexa said, gonna bounce, take it easy. JJ, appreciate you, Flexa. Smash the like button on your way out. Happy Sunday, my friend. Did I say Friday earlier? I might have told somebody happy Friday. All right, then let's go take a look at total crypto market cap. Very nice. Yeah, we had this descending range. Broke bullish out of it. Sweet. We have not hit that 4.13 yet. So let's see if that's where we're heading. We're at 3.98 right now. We will see. So it got above 3.92. And it struggled there for a minute. There's definitely a little bit of a struggle. It could retrace down to 3.92 and then use that liquidity grab because it rejected the midpoint right here very nicely. So it might need to retrace to 3.92, bounce off of that, and then break 4.13. RSI is resetting very nicely. Most of these altcoins have nice RSI resets taking place. We'll see where we end up. I'm excited. I'm excited for Wednesday, man. Fed breakout's gonna be sick. No matter what. The volatility. I welcome the volatility. But anyways, guys, this is where I'm gonna love and leave you. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Sunday and good night.